and match commentator John Moss.
Everton come down the Villa Park steps just as they did a year ago, knowing the Cup and League double is in their sights. And for the third year running, their fans have the opportunity to give them a huge welcome on semi-final day. Their team has won so much respect these last 2 years, and a measure of Everton's stature as a club is that this is their 21st FA Cup semi-final, an outright record. Sheffield Wednesday played their semi-final here at Villa Park when they last reached Wembley 20 years ago, and over 20,000 Yorkshire folk here today hope to roar them through again. Wednesday lost to Everton in that 1966 final, and they haven't beaten them since. The last 17 matches between the two clubs have ended in 13 wins for Everton and 4 draws. So the Sheffield following hope it's their turn today, and so does goalkeeper Martin Hodge. Playing after 3 days intensive treatment on a back injury, he captains them against his old club, having played for Everton here in a semi-final 6 years ago. And at the other end, Bobby Mims had a trial with Wednesday as a youngster. He later joined Rotherham, and it was for them he played his last FA Cup tie at Mansfield in November '84. Now he's deputising for the injured, unlucky Neville Southall. Well, the rest of the team news shows that Gary Lineker was ruled out this morning, and as expected, Adrian Heath plays at number 8. Kevin Richardson continues for the injured Kevin Sheedy, and 6 of the side have now played in 3 FA Cup semi-finals in a row. For Wednesday, Peter Shirtliff returns in defence in place of Chris Morris, but the hamstring injury received on Thursday has ruled out the influential Brian Marwood. So Lee Chapman returns after a virus to form a 3-man attack with Gary Thompson and Carl Shutt. Chapman thrilled to be back and playing against one of his best pals. Adrian Heath, Lineker's replacement, was Chapman's close friend when they were together at Stoke. So a sad day for Gary Lineker and Kevin Sheedy, both ruled out of the team through injury. Colin Harvey played for Everton in that 1966 FA Cup final against Sheffield Wednesday, and on the other side that day was a man on the other bench this afternoon, the Sheffield Wednesday coach, Peter Eustace. Brian Hill of Kettering taking charge of his first FA Cup semi-final. The rain that was falling a few minutes ago seems to have eased now, and Sheffield Wednesday in yellow. Chapman gets the first touch, volleyed clear by Gary Stevens. Everton defending the goal to our right. The early moments, always anxious ones on semi-final day. A lot of tension down there. Up goes Thompson, looking for Shutt. And Stevens had to concede the corner. And corners are a Sheffield Wednesday speciality. They've scored plenty of goals from set plays this season. Chapman has stood in the 6-yard box. Hart has also gone forward. Hart's flick on, Megson couldn't quite make it, it was close. Gary Thompson. Hart has stayed forward, Shutt. Megson, touching it to Sterling. Couldn't quite get his shot in, deprived by Vanden Hauwe actually. And here's Peter Reid. Good challenge by Richardson, this is Vanden Hauwe. In the way was Megson. Ratcliffe. Well, the near post corner almost worked in Sheffield Wednesday's first attack. The ball was flicked on by Paul Hart, and a taller player than Gary Megson might have finished it. And Gary Shelton got a foot in, and here's Thompson. Now he's onside because he was in his own half. It's Carl Shutt up against Mountfield. On his own for the moment, and happy to force the corner. Snowden will take the corner. Hart and Chapman are nearer to the kicker. The others waiting to come in. Goodness goodness me, it flew right across the goal again, and once more Megson was the player nearer to it for Sheffield Wednesday. Snowden drilled it across, and Gary Megson now has been within a whisker of making contact right in front of goal from 2 corners. And Thompson was beaten by Mountfield, who covered him. Shelton back again to Snowden. And away by Ratcliffe. Shirtliff. Well, this appears to be a confident start by the underdog, Sheffield Wednesday. Forward by Madden. Sharp. Shelton. Tackled by Reed. Little back heel to Stephen. Sheffield Wednesday have been away at Lilleshall for a couple of days, preparing for this big match. Mountfield. Here's Shutt. He's got Megson outside him. And here's Shelton. And Mountfield stood in front of Shelton, and the referee put his arms by his sides and gave nothing. Gary Shelton was in a menacing position. Derek Mountfield appeared to block him, but the referee said play on. Heath's in the thick of it there. It may run on for Sharp. Laurie Madden. Ratcliffe. Free kick. Now Ratcliffe went through with a second challenge on Shirtliff, but it was the first one from Heath that the referee had actually penalised. Now Everton have an injury problem themselves here, because Trevor Stephen has gone down awkwardly on the halfway line and requires attention. Howard Kendall's concern is such that he's come down from the stand to the bench to see whether Trevor Stephen can continue. And Alan Harper, the substitute, is getting ready, and it looks as though Stephen is limping his way out of this semi-final. From the way he went down, it looked as though it might be a groin injury to me that Stephen has sustained there. And what a sad day for him to have to go off so early. They've played 27 minutes, and Alan Harper, twice an unused substitute in the FA Cup final, is on the field. Megson's in there again, away by Ratcliffe. That was Sterling, Chapman, and Shutt trying to get in behind 2 defenders, one of whom is Ratcliffe here. Hart. So Everton now without both their first choice flank players. Sheedy was ruled out by injury. Trevor Stephen has gone off. So Alan Harper for the moment is in midfield on the right hand side. This is Richardson. It's also worth making the point that Everton started the match without Southall and Lineker, so 4 of what you might describe as their first choice team are now absent, and I'm pretty certain that was a groin injury, the way Trevor Stephen went down and didn't look like carrying on. Shutt, Sterling, Chapman. Half-time arrives, as it so often does on semi-final day, with no score. The balance certainly in Sheffield Wednesday's favour. They made more of the play, had the better of what chances there were, and Everton lost Trevor Stephen with what looked like a groin injury. So at half-time, as Everton go off, still hopeful of reaching Wembley for the 3rd year running, they've met their match and more perhaps here in Sheffield Wednesday. There's no score after the first 45 minutes.